President Bola Tinubu meets Nigerians in China, says current hardship is a momentary sacrifice needed for a more prosperous Nigeria.
I want to provide the leadership that is necessary, and I'm committed to that.
House of Representatives advocates coordinated health sector, seeks improved access to quality health care.
To deliver quality and accessible health care to Nigerians.
And Commission for Persons with Disabilities lauds Onyeyechi Mark for winning Nigeria's first gold medal, setting a new world record. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on Nta News24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu is reassuring that the current hardship in Nigeria is just a momentary sacrifice needed for his administration's reforms to ensure a better future and a more prosperous Nigeria. The president addressed the prevailing socio and economic situation in the country during his meeting with executives of the Nigerians in Diaspora organization NIDO in China. State House correspondent Musbah Danwahab reports.
Time with Nigeria's ambassadors in China. These representatives, with ranging durations of stay here and with experiences in different fields. But then, they had concerns on due recognition in China, government support for small and medium-scale businesses in Nigeria, as well as the renewal of a currency swap policy to ease international transactions. The relevant ministers addressed the issues raised.
It has been a very good trip.
For the president, this trip has opened up opportunities, new ideas, and insight to double down on policies and programs to facilitate infrastructural and economic development across Nigeria.
So good roads here. I want to emulate and reflect it back home. I want our children to be in good schools, not in tattered huts. You make teaching interesting and make business flourish.
And then, an opportunity for the president to address the current economic realities back in Nigeria. Fuel prices are yet again fueling outcries in town, but President Tinubu is sure aware of the situation, yet confident that Nigerians would soon benefit from the ongoing reforms.
One economic action leads to another. It is in your hand to build our nation. My own is to provide the leadership that is necessary, and I'm committed to that. If we say we have oil and we are not utilizing it for economic prosperity of our people, to develop, to diversify the economy, to build highways, who will do it and when?
Just as he promises that his team will not fail Nigerians, President Tinubu seemingly enters a deal with Nigerians across the world.
I promise you good governance. You should promise me good citizenship.
And he also wants to go home to make those implementations. Not as though we don't have them, but he's going to take them seriously and make sure that we have all of these things. And that is one thing that really struck to us.
He has asked us for his support. We are willing to support. We've heard from him. We believe in what he has said, and he has said that he's ready to work, even with we in the diaspora, to achieve the aims and objectives of his government.
And so, they were left with new impression and hope that the current administration means well for Nigeria. From Beijing, Musbah Danwahab, Nta News.
Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugar has reaffirmed that the official visit of President Bola Tinubu and Nigeria's participation in the 2024 summit of the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation has led to several outcomes, considering Nigeria's efforts at enhancing regional peace and integration, with strong emphasis on respecting democracy, good governance, and the rights of citizens. The minister, in a joint statement with the People's Republic of China, says China commends Nigeria's leading role in ECOWAS and its efforts towards bringing stability to the region, and supports Nigeria to play a strong leading role in the regional affairs, including the fight against terrorism and managing differences. The minister pointed out that China is urging West African countries to engage through friendly dialogue and consultations as the way forward in sustaining regional integration. The two countries agreed to strengthen their relationship and cooperation, which has led to the signing of several mutual agreements. The Foreign Affairs Minister identified that President Tinubu's official visit to China has been a huge success and that the Nigeria-China relations are on a new stage. And Nigeria and China have strengthened their historical trade relations, and this was at the 19th Nigeria-Ghana Leadership Summit in Abuja. The bilateral summit had the theme rewarding commitment to excellence and consolidating on the diplomatic relations between the two nations. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports.
The Deputy High Commissioner of Ghana to Nigeria, Addison Agbenyega, says Nigeria and Ghana have the same colonist and language affinity, so it is natural that the two countries explore similarities between them and cooperate to improve trade and investments.
So the white man did not show Nigerians Ghana. White man did not show Ghanaians Nigeria. We were trading long before they came. Problem we have is the multiplicity of currencies.
When it comes to business, I think our borders are not very friendly to both countries, you understand? When you are moving goods from Ghana to Nigeria, both the Togo border and the Seme border seems to be a challenge, but I think the Togo border is more challenging, especially when you are moving it into Ghana.
Both countries have maintained rules of engagement under the Free Trade Agreement. Convener of the event, Barry Ndu, speaks on the needs for Africans to have one voice, see each other as brothers and sisters in any encounter.
There should be more clearance, there should be more visibility, there should be more openness for Ghanaians to do business in Nigeria and for Nigerians also to do business in Ghana, because we are two big countries within the West African continent.
As a proud Nigerian public servant, I'm being recognized not even by the country alone, but even by another country, Ghana Nigerian Association. It's very, very important to me.
That we should remain steadfast in the things we are doing. We can have a better world if we have it in mind to create a better world. It's something that can be done one by one and collectively.
The event highlights warm reception accorded to Nigerians during the period of their studies in Accra, as awards were also presented to some personalities.
The quest for national integration among the various socio-cultural, regional and ethnic groups of the country is gradually taking shape. This is demonstrated with the visit of a delegation from Osun State to Nasarawa State as part of steps to deepen cooperation between the North Central and the Southwestern zones. Bilkisu Gurku reports.
The delegation, led by the Special Advisor to Osun State Governor on Regional Integration, Kamal Adekilepun, is to visit one state each from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The visit is to enhance interstate and interregional integration and cooperation, focusing on areas such as trade, cultural, investment and agriculture. While in Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital, chosen for the North Central Zone, Governor Abdullahi Sule, represented by the Secretary of the State Government, received the delegation as issues bordering from peaceful coexistence, unity and cooperation were discussed. Both parties agreed on modalities that will ensure that residents of the state, irrespective of their ethnic differences, will be given the opportunity to contribute in the affairs of governance.
Out of the kind, mercy and foresight of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Osun State, I think is an exercise that posterity will kindly forget it.
This is a very historic visit to this great state. We thank His Excellency, the governor, who allowed us to mingle and to go around the states.
At the palace of the Emir of Lafia and the resident of Yoruba chief in Lafia, the delegation got royal blessings as they appreciate the royal fathers for their continued support to all.
Here, we don't know whether they're Yoruba people, Hausa or Kanuri or whatever. We are just one people, but they still maintain their identity.
It is the first time such visit is undertaken pursuant to sustainable national developments. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, NTA News.
All is set for the construction of the first offshore floating LNG facility in Nigeria as the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority issues license to an indigenous company. Minister of State Petroleum Resources Gas, Ikperikpe Ikpo, reiterated government's commitment to expanding the midstream gas sector for the industrialization of the country. Lydia Sampson reports.
Described as an auspicious event, the issuance of license to construct UTM first offshore floating LNG facility in Nigeria for the key players, it is also a milestone in the journey of realizing the federal government's decade of gas.
This is in line with the vision of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to grow gas production, distribution, and utilization.
The projects aligns with the main aspiration of PIA 2021, which include the expansion of midstream gas facilities in Nigeria. It also aligns with targets of the Decade of Gas program and other gas expansion projects of the current administration.
This milestone underscores our commitment to excellence and strategic vision for the future.
UTM Managing Director and CEO committed to timely completion. The floating facility offshore Akwa Ibom State Oil Mining Lease 104 will process 324 million standard cubic feet per day of natural gas and produce 2.8 million tons per annum of liquefied natural gas. The project is projected to be commissioned in the year 2028, and the products from the project include liquefied natural gas LNG, liquefied petroleum gas LPG, and condensate. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions is advocating for a well-coordinated health sector that will enable Nigerians to access quality healthcare services easily and discourage them from embarking on medical tourism. The committee, during its oversight function to the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada, craved more commitment from those involved in Nigeria's health management system. Olusheye Adiagbo reports.
A recent research reveals that about $1.2 billion is lost to medical tourism yearly in Nigeria, as the nation is ranked 187 out of 191 countries in the world's health systems by the World Health Organization. House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions is keen on pushing for an improvement in the medical sector. The committee, chaired by Amos Magaji, commends President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on health and explains how the 10th Assembly is recommitting to a digitized-based approach.
Billions are spent abroad on things that should be handled here. And that's why the committee and the entire House is trying so much. And I thank God that even what the committee, the bill or the motion that was proposed in the House, the President has also keyed into it and declared a state of emergency on health. These will actually propel the health system and reposition her to deliver quality and accessible health care to Nigerians.
As an institution, we render all the subspecialty care. We have a very strong laboratory support recently, courtesy of the University of Abuja Church Conform. It is on record that we're the first teaching hospital in Nigeria to manage COVID-19 patients.
The committee members inspected some completed projects like the new mental health building, renovated children ward, Department of Pharmaceutical Services, female medical and surgical wards. The Chief Medical Director, University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Professor Bisala Ekele, informed the members that the hospital's capacity has increased from 350 bed space to over 500 and enjoined the members to ensure the facility enjoys support from their legislation. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
In other news, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has urged the National Association of Polytechnic Students to channel its grievances regarding non-mobilization of some higher national diploma students for the National Youth Service to the appropriate authorities. JAMB's registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, said this at a meeting with the leadership of the student body at the board's headquarters in Buari. Online Kaujo reports.
The meeting becomes necessary to unravel circumstances that surround non-mobilization of some holders of the Higher National Diploma Certificate to participate in the mandatory one-year National Youth Service Program.
Have you ever seen anybody with national diploma going on NYC? It's not possible. Who goes on NYC?
Explaining that the issue has nothing to do with JAMB, as it only conducts examinations for admission into universities, National Diploma, ND, and Nigerian Certificate in Education, NCE programs. JAMB registrar advised that rather than shift blame to the board, the students should trace the root cause of their challenges.
Let me tell you strictly where your problem is that you don't know. Where your problem. When you see NCE certificates, there is no NCE certificate that is issued in this country. NCE, that you go to NCC, that you won't have a copy. And that's why their certificate is co-signed with ESNCC in order to have the record. Just as NCC does, you can do that with MBT.
On his part, Director General of the NYSC says,
issue of those mobilized that are part-time. In the ND, they go and do part-time, while in the HND, they do their regular time. The issue there is that anytime they come for mobilization, we identify them, because in our mandate in NYSC, we are not supposed to mobilize those that are part-time students. And in their number, when they come for mobilization, we identify them. At the end of their number, you see P given to them by the JAMB, signifying that they are part-time students when they pass through their ND. So with that P, we know that they are part-time. For that reason, they are not qualified to be mobilized based on our mandate.
Satisfied with the explanation, President of NAPS, Ridwan Okpeyemi, resolved to engage appropriate authorities to resolve the issue.
We know where the problem lies. The problem actually lies from most of our institutions. We have to also go back to the institution, you understand, what is expected of them to do, what we have been discussed here so far. We are going to take it to the institution as well. When we take it to them, you understand, they will now see their reaction.
Institutions that use what it referred to as daily part-time programs were urged to desist from such practices. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, has reaffirmed the President Bola Tinubu administration's dedication to transforming the Almajiri education system and ensuring millions of Nigerian children receive education. He emphasized the President's concern for the welfare of Almajiri and out-of-school children and pledged the administration's commitment to addressing this critical issue. Professor Mamman acknowledged the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children's Education, Dr. Mohammed Sani Idris, for his exceptional leadership and advocacy efforts. During a visit to the Commission headquarters in Abuja, Professor Mamman lauded Dr. Idris' initiative and in engaging key stakeholders to support the Commission's mandate, demonstrating his commitment to collaborative solutions. Dr. Idris expressed gratitude for the minister's visit and acknowledged his guidance and accessibility in their working relationship, saying the minister has always been a source of support and encouragement. The governing All Progressives Congress is channeling intellectual energies into creating a new dimension to party politics and administration. This came as the party formally inaugurated the Progressives Institute, aimed at running a combination of mentorship and leadership, as well as a research hub. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
For the first time in the annal of the nation's democratic history, a governing party is diversifying into the academics with a clear vision to train and sharpen the acumens of prospective leaders, and the inauguration of the Progressive Institute with a crop of top-notch intellectual assets as pioneering management is a value addition to the creative and innovative center.
The matter of approach to development has always been contentious in our country. This APC initiative would help in the efforts to address the matter.
Empowering them with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the complexities of governance.
This, we believe, will enhance the policy capacity of the party, especially to enable it to provide policy advice and suggestions.
Very, very creative and innovative idea whose time has come.
We want to work with our partners, our leaders, to explore, to identify and encourage Nigerians to look for how they could be involved in governance.
At an inaugural lecture, Chairman Progressive Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, outlined measures introduced to salvage the economy and nodded to the initiative which will assist in promoting good governance and accountability.
By establishing this institute, we are not just creating a think tank, we are laying the foundation for a new era of governance in Nigeria and potentially in Africa.
This institution is there, for me, it's important for me because we need to move from speculation to science.
Top government functionaries of the APC extraction commended the drive to change the narrative and promote an all-inclusive agenda of understanding the fundamentals of governance. The largest populated country in the world, China, and its counterpart in Africa, Nigeria, are proposing synergy to deepen consensus in building quality democracy that strives under a sound intellectual foundation. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, Nta News.
First Lady Oluremi Tinubu congratulates Onyechi Mark on winning the country's first gold medal at the Paralympics and setting multiple world records at the Games in Paris. She describes the incredible achievements of Onyechi as an inspiration that shows what can be accomplished with dedication, resilience, and perseverance, noting that by her feat, the Paralympian has not only made history, but also paved the way for others to dream big and aim high. The First Lady says Nigeria, and in particular the womenfolk, is proud of the athletes who she prays will continue on the path of more success and victories. Similarly, Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, Ayuba Gufwan, has lauded Nigeria's Paralympian Onyinyechi Mark for setting a new world record in the women's 61 kilogram powerlifting to win Nigeria's first gold medal at the ongoing Paralympic Games in Paris, attaining a victory for the generality of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. He noted that lifting a 150 kilogram in the 61 kilogram women powerlifting category to beat her close opponent, Chinese woman Xu Jianjin, who lifted 140 kilograms to clinch the silver medal, is a triumph and a thing of pride for all the 35.5 million Nigerians with disabilities. Her singular feat has proven the popular saying of ability in disability. She further wants the athletes to use the high momentum and the victorious spirits and feelings in the camp to aim for more victory and win more laurels for Nigeria, bringing Nigeria's medals to 3 with a total of 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze won at different times and events as well as categories. Well, that concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.